Hi, I'm Linda Corrado, and this video is going to discuss the nursing home investigations. I will use my compass to help guide me through this video, and hopefully you will learn something from it. I am a visual learner, and as a result of some childhood trauma, I kept repeating behavior patterns and tendencies over and over. With the help of professionals and spiritual practices and my educational background, I developed all that I learned and compiled it into this little 4-plan, which is a guide to self-discovery and understanding why we do the things that we do. The basic premise of this plan is that all behavior has a polar opposite feeling or belief attached to it. And if you want to change your behavior, then you have to change the way you think and feel. It was a year ago that I started making these videos. I began with the impeachment trial, the first one that is, and I was appalled at Trump's behavior afterwards. And I thought, how in the world did we elect this man to be a leader? So for a year, I started charting his behaviors, all of the things that he was saying and doing, and you could very easily correlate those behaviors to what he was really thinking. And vice versa, you could predict his behavior based on what he was saying. Then the primaries for the Democratic candidates were beginning, and I thought, well, let me use my 4-plan to dissect their behavior and the things they were saying and doing and promising. And during that process, I found this man, the governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo. I have watched every single briefing he has ever given. But it didn't take me long to figure out that that's the person I wanted to vote for president. Only thing was, he wasn't running. And he was very clear that he didn't want to run. All he wanted to do was be governor. There is no question that this man was emerging as a true leader. And when you chart his words and his actions out on the chart, his behavior clearly showed he was operating from above the line. Therefore, finding the polar opposite thoughts and beliefs, you come to this conclusion. It turns out, sitting here alone in my little California cottage, I was not alone. The man had garnered an 86% approval rating. It was great for us. We needed somebody to lead us. Unfortunately, it just created a target on this man's back. Trump was so predictable. He would try to emulate Cuomo by sitting at a DS and leaning in forward, but you could tell he was very uncomfortable. That lasted about 2 times. He put his punching gloves on and even tweeted during one of Cuomo's briefings to get back to work. Back at the podium, I could hardly believe my ears when I heard him say, "Why don't people love me? After all, I'm the one that's doing this," when in fact everyone knew Cuomo was. And guess what was coming Cuomo's way? It began here on this day, and I remember it well. I had submitted a video for his contest, and he mentioned in the morning at the briefing that there was something wrong with the music. I didn't have any way to respond to him or get in touch with him other than the original submission process, so I had to let it go. But I remember this day. The nursing home questions started to surface. They were demanding to know why he was taking COVID patients from hospitals and putting them into nursing homes. At the same time, they were predicting that there would be 100,000 deaths. He was concerned about how he was going to handle that. He didn't have 100,000 hospital beds. To help alleviate the situation, the CDC issued guidelines regarding sending patients from hospitals to the nursing homes to free up more beds. And it was recommended by the CDC, Trump's federal government, to take patients out of the hospitals and to put them into nursing homes. And Melissa DeRosa answered the question directly and read the guidelines to all of the reporters. At the same time, Trump and Meadows were demanding that Cuomo turn over all of the data from his testing, and Cuomo refused. The New York Tough correctly asserted this was a violation of a person's privacy. Then in August of 2020, there was pressure from the New York State Legislature for Cuomo to turn in all of the data on the nursing home deaths. And he explained it that he was also answering the DOJ's request at the same time, which brings us to our present day situation in February of 2021. And the drama has been set, and these are the players on the stage. My curiosity is piqued, however. I am concerned about the reports coming out of the AG's office when a full conclusive report has not been submitted. Cuomo talks about how creating a void invites divisiveness and speculation and conspiracies. Well, another void is being created here, and guess what's coming? We have two Republican wannabes accusing, blaming, demanding conviction, removal, and disqualification. But they're very clever to say if the claims are true. But they don't say it very loud, and they don't emphasize it. This was all explained by Dr. Howard Zucker, and it was confirmed by the AG's office that the bottom line, the number was the same. No one was hiding anything. There's a saying that I'm sure you've all heard: the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So let's take a look at the two individuals who are voicing the loudest demands here. They are both Republicans. They are both running for governor, and they are both loyal to Donald J. Trump. Now, this is my opinion. I call them minions. So I am now going to chart their behavior and their actions. The AG's office report is not concluded yet, and yet they're out there accusing, blaming, and demanding. Now, if Cuomo had been found faulty in this, then their accusations and their demands would be justified. However, he has not. Therefore, without any substantial proof, these behaviors are most definitely charted below the line. So when we are acting from below the line, we are governed by fear. Now, fear in the unconscious needs to come to light. If we do not acknowledge it or bring it forward, it will consume us. It will govern everything that we do in an unconscious state. So this begs the question, what are these two afraid of? Are they afraid they can't win the election? Are they intimidated by his approval rating? And if so, what can they do to intentionally chip away at it? Now, I'm not an A.J. Parkinson, but my opinion is they are Trump minions, and they are shooting arrows at their boss's request. We have all seen firsthand Trump's vindictive, mean, revengeful spirit. No, there is no doubt in my mind this is payback time. Folks, this is not leadership. Trump was never a leader. His minions are not leaders, they're followers. This is politics based on fear-based behavior. It is vitally important that we all learn how to discourage politicians and encourage leadership. We need to support them.